What's up, everybody? I am late doing the Chicago Connecticut game, but I figured I would do it real quick while I have halftime going on, kind of in between the other two games. But Chicago and Connecticut, 94-84, Connecticut ended up winning that game. Here are the factors that ended up determining that game because I know everybody was like, oh, Chicago Angels back. Here's the two factors: turnovers, Tina Charles. And the first note that I'm going to make is actually going to go over both of those. So Tina Charles, obviously, she dropped 23 points. She also cleaned up the boards. So every single miss that Chicago had, which is part of their turnovers was Tina Charles cleaning up the boards. She had 10 rebounds. So that pretty much neutralized Camila and Angel in terms of offensive rebounds. That was pretty much almost non-existent. Um, Tanisha Wright coached the majority of the game because Tyler Marsh got ejected early in the game. I think in the first quarter, actually. The referee failed to call a foul on Aaliyah Edwards. I will have to admit, I think anybody that watched that video thought that that was valid. Obviously, never good to lose your temper like that, but Tyler completely lost it. He rushed the referee. It was a pretty bad play for Aaliyah Edwards. She pretty much clotheslined the girl, but yeah, so Tyler was ejected early in the game. Tanisha Wright is definitely not new to coaching. She's the former head coach of the Atlanta Dream. So she stepped in, and honestly, I think she actually coached them pretty well. I don't know if it was necessarily to Tyler's game plan or not, but they did fairly decent with what they had. There's just a lack of overall offensive talent on Chicago, as we've talked about before. Um, Connecticut had a couple of things. Lacan took a hit from Angel Reese early. She was out for the game. It wasn't. They kind of wrapped each other up a little bit, and Angel kind of flung her arms. It wasn't like a big thing, but Lacan, not intentional for sure. Lacan ended up catching some part of Angel's arm on her eye, and it swelled up. It was swelling up pretty bad, and they actually benched her for the rest of the game. So she was out for the rest of the game. So that was a little bit of a deciphering thing. Between Tina Charles, Bria Hartley, and Mabry, they dropped 63 points. Rivers off the bench with 13. So offensively, they just freaking murdered Chicago. As you can see, a lot of Chicago's points were kind of spread out in the paint and on the perimeter. Um, you can kind of tell Connecticut's was kind of a little bit in the paint, mainly off in the mid and a little bit on the perimeter as well too. So they were shooting a lot from mid range. Um, Doing fairly well there. Offensively, I'm not even going to list, just say that Sevgi, no, that she did not have a good game. She should not have been playing as long as she was playing. Finally, Connecticut, last note. The Connecticut coach has been chastised for his poor rotations. I can say that when they came to Phoenix and I watched them play, it was very bad. Anybody that potentially had a hot streak, nobody really had a hot streak in that game, but he overplayed Mabry, who was the only one that was really doing anything offensively in that game. But Aaliyah Edwards, if you want to pay attention to the game, if you're rewatching it, Aaliyah Edwards sat on the bench way too long, so that limited her productivity a lot as well too. But yeah, that's my take.